Hey guys, Isaiah LeBron here, back again with another video. I am going to show you the guaranteed way of making $10,000 a month in 2024. And the reason why I can guarantee this for you is because I've done it for myself and my business partner has done it as well. And this is really a tried and true system. And keep in mind, I just want to preface this. This is not a get rich quick sort of thing here. This is going to take blood, sweat, and tears. This is going to take consistency. This is going to take unsurmountable belief in yourself to make things happen every single day and to always get 1% better every single day to get towards your goal. But let's get into it. I'm going to show you the guaranteed way of making 10K a month in 2024 using Newton's laws of motion. So guys, the guaranteed way of making $10,000 a month in 2024 is by brute force, right? We need to brute force our way to 10K a month. Because I can tell you right now, from 0K a month to 10K a month is by far the hardest jump you have to do, because when you're at zero, you have, especially if you're a beginner in this space, you have no skills, no experience, no connections, you have no insights, you have nothing to fall back on, you have no foundations, you're just in the middle of the ocean trying to see which way is the best way, right? So from 0K a month, 10K a month is by far the hardest. 10K a month, 20K a month is gets easier from there. The thing about this, guys, when things get hard, right, and you're working inside your business, so you can get that first, 10K a month, it gets easier from there, right? Every single day you put in that pain, and you don't expect the pleasure, things will get easier for you. Trust me, things will get easier. It might not seem it will, but things will get easier, right? You just have to stay in the game long enough, because I can assure you, if you stay in the game long enough with consistency, you're going to reach 10K a month. All right, so let's break this down here. Let's use Newton's laws of motion in our favor to reach 10K a month in 2024. All right, so as I mentioned, keep this in mind, brute force. We have to force our way to 10K a month, right? So Newton's laws of motion. The first law is a body in motion remains in motion, or a body at rest remains at rest unless acted upon by a force, right? So what this means in the context of growing your SMMA or B2B Lead Generation agency is many people fail to launch because they never overcome the inertia of inaction, right? So in the context of B2B Lead Generation or SMA or any online business model, this could be this means like, right, you're scared to send the first call, you're scared to send the first pitch, you're scared to get on sales calls, you're scared, you're scared to send, your first cold emails, you're scared to pick up the phone, right? You're scared to actually take the first step, and the first step that'll actually matter, because once you have that plan to reach 10K a month and you're psychologically readying yourself for that journey, in that time, you'll probably be procrastinating on a website or a landing page, and these things are important to a certain extent, but we need experience, right? We need calls booked into the calendar, and we need to be actively speaking to prospects, right? And a lot of agency owners, beginner agency owners, they don't take that first step because they are fearful, they are scared of what's going to happen. But I'm gonna tell you right now, guys, if you procrastinate on that first step, you might as well get a job, right? Because that's probably more comfortable for you. And I'm sorry to say that, but business is not for the weak. It's for the people who really want to triumph and make something worthy of themselves and give value to the market, right? So, so you might be scared of getting the first call, sending the first pitch, or launching the first campaign. So you need to overcome inertia and set your business in motion, right? So keep that first law in mind whenever you have that fear or that resistance holding you back from taking that first step. Because in order to take that first step, you need to apply the action. You need to apply the force, because nobody's going to do it for you, all right? You need to do it for yourself, because especially when you're a beginner, your business is literally you, right? So when people say you don't have a business problem, you have a personal problem manifesting in your business, a lot of people say that, but it is very, very, very true, especially for you beginners out there. It's very true, right? You're the issue if there is issues inside your business, especially when you're beginning, okay? So keep that in mind. Newton's second law, force equals mass times acceleration. Guys, keep this second law in mind, because this is where brute force is applied, and this is how you can make Newton's laws of motion in your favor so you can get to 10K a month a lot faster, a lot quicker, right? So Newton's second law states that force, right? So what is the outcome of force? Well, it's mass times acceleration, right? So in the context of starting your own SMMA or B2B lead generation agency, the size of the effort, right, which is your force, you put into your business directly affects its growth, which is the acceleration of your business. So in business terms, this could mean investing more time into learning, increasing marketing efforts, or refining your sales processes. The more focused energy you apply, the faster results you'll see, because all we have, guys, as entrepreneurs is energy, right? And we could direct that energy into focus. And so these things can be coupled into the acceleration of our business and ourselves, right? So you have to keep the second law in mind, because this is going to guarantee your success, guys, right? Brute forcing our way to 10K a month. And the way we do that is having a lot of mass, having a lot of energy, plus that acceleration, which means directing that energy into focus, into a given aspect or project inside your business, right? So when I say brute force, I mean at least 1,000 to 3,000 cold emails every single day. When those emails are sending, I want you to rip 200 to 300 cold calls every single day, right? I want you to start posting one long form content piece on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever your niche is, wherever they can see you, post that every single day. So every single day you're maximizing the chances of you getting to 10K a month, because the only gap here is consistency and brute force, right? And you have to stay in the game long enough. If you're somebody like me, I don't care if it's going to take me 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, 42 months, 72 months to reach my goal. I don't care if it takes me that long, because I know if I stay in the game long enough, I'm going to reach that goal. But if you want to get to your goal a lot faster, well, first of all, you need mentorship, and you need the right resources, and you need to apply brute force, all right? And you need to get out of your own way. Sorry for that tangent. Newton's third law of motion. Let me just take a sip of water. All right, Newton's third law of motion. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So in the context of business, every effort you put into your business generates a response. And guys, you got to keep this in mind. What I'm saying is facts, right? You cannot dispute this. This is the laws of the universe, right? This is the laws of our realm, right? This is the laws of our reality. So you have to understand every effort you put into your business generates a response. This can be positive, such as generating leads from a cold email campaign, a LinkedIn campaign, cold call campaigns, generating appointments, or negative even, such as learning from a failed sales pitch. But that negative experience, you're learning from that negative experience and still applying what to do correctly if you find yourself in a situation like that again, so you keep going forward. So if you do take a step back, you take 2 steps forward, right? So literally every single failure, every single L you're going to take inside your business, and trust me, you're going to take many L's. You're going to take a lot of L's. Too much L's. But you have to stick in the game. Because all those L's are accumulating like Tetris blocks, so you can have a concrete foundation. So if you find yourself way up here, the fall is, that foundation can catch your fall. All right? So keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind. So now that we got that out the way, right? Since you may be a beginner, or maybe you're even established, but usually this is for beginners who don't have any skills. If you have 0 skills, right? So you're on this left end of the spectrum, all right? And then you need to get to actually having skills. But there's a gap here that we need to traverse, right? We need to traverse this gap here. Well, how do we traverse this gap here, Isaiah? How do we become a person with no skills to a person that has skills that is monetizable, that's a word, monetizable, and take it to market and start making cash, right? How do we traverse this gap? I'm going to show you how to traverse this gap, right? And how to actually acquire the skills in a predictable way. So we have the skill, right? So we have the skill that we need to learn, and then we have the theory and the principles of that skill, right? So we have to learn the foundational So this is like, you're going into school and you're going into university and you're learning about you're learning about your degree. You have that curriculum, you're doing homework. So, but, you're learning these things, right? But you're not experiencing that skill because you're still learning the basics and the foundational principles of it, right? So this is the same thing with acquiring skills, right? You have to understand the principles and theories of that skill, right? So once you understand and have that foundational presence of theory of a given skill and the principles of that skill, we can then take that to any market, with a low risk experience with upside. And don't worry, I'll give you an example of what that looks like in a lead generation skill perspective with my next diagram here. And then so once we acquire low risk experiences with upside, right? So we're not working, in the backdrops of, being an intern in a sweatshop. We need to repeat this process. So again, we're building Tetris blocks of experience, and we're also having upside with it as well. So while we're getting experience, we're also experiencing upside, whether that be in the form of monetary gains or connections. All right, so we need to repeat this over and over and over again until we have foundational experience and proof of concept of that skill, and then we can finally advance and build on top of that skill and start really skilling up, right? So to put this in a more less of a theoretical perspective, let's put it into dense terms here. So the skill that I teach and the skill that I first started with was lead gen. Right, so story time. Let's do a quick story time here. How I got my started in lead generation, the skill, and even just starting a B2B lead gen agency and scaling it to 10K a month. How I first started was like probably many of you, I started doing SMMA. I started reaching out to home service companies, specifically HVAC companies, with the opportunity to potentially run their Google advertisements. Now, probably just like you as well, I never ran a Google ad, right? I never ran a Google ad a day in my life. I didn't do any market research around the HVAC niche. I mean, I did, but it wasn't as rigorous as I now teach people. So I didn't know anything. I literally did not know anything, and I definitely did not know how to deliver. So I was trying to find media buyers and whatnot, and that's another story. I would not recommend doing that. I would actually run away from that. If anybody's telling you to do that, run away as fast as possible, because as long as you don't know how to do your own service, you're fucked. Okay, you're absolutely fucked. But I was booking calls with these HVAC companies, right? I was picking up the phone, I was dialing, I was doing cold calls, I was doing cold email outreach, right? So I was attracting these two man shows with one minivan, doing HVAC services, and I got in contact with them by doing cold calls. But I was also reaching to corporate level businesses with 30, 40 employees, these HVAC companies, and I reached them through cold email as well. So I was booking these calls, but I couldn't close these prospects. But I don't say I couldn't. I did not want to close these prospects because I was scared of how the hell was I going to deliver. And if I am going to deliver with a media buyer, how do I know he's not going to just fuck over the whole campaign and not deliver good results, right? And all the fallback is going to be on me, of course, because I'm the face of the business, right? But I was booking calls with these guys. So long story short, I got an appointment setter job with Charlie Morgan, and I worked my way up to a sales manager and managed to land a sales role in his company, in his consulting company. But I first started out as an appointment setter. So while I was growing my SMMA, I wasn't really growing. I was just booking calls and just taking those calls. I pivoted to actually appointment setting for agencies. I started appointment setting for marketing agencies. Now, this is when marketing agencies weren't that saturated with offers and crazy guarantees as they are now. So it was much better to sign clients. So, while I was appointment setting for Charlie Morgan and booking calls for him with agencies, I was also targeting agencies for my own done-for-you lead generation business, right? Because I was like, hey, I can book calls for myself, and I'm booking calls for Charlie. I should do this as a business, right? Because I didn't know you could do that. I did not know you could do this as a business, right? I did not know you can make a living just doing lead generation, cold email, cold calling, cold DMs for a living for other businesses. But, to my knowledge, I kind of seen whoa, a lot of companies, a lot of these, white collar companies, they need appointments, they need lead generation because their internal systems are fucked. They're completely fucked, right? So that's how I got my start, and that's how I started to scale up, because I worked on a completely pay-per-performance basis. My upfront fee was like $500, and my per booked appointment was like $100 when I first started out. I would not recommend doing that because that's super, super cheap, but that's how I got my foot in the door. That's how I got my experience. So that experience allowed me to have a baseline of what I know, and now I can take that to the market. And quit the sales role and whatever and go full time, which is eventually what I did. And so I recommend going down the same route I went down, right? So, but anyways, because that kind of ties into what we're talking about here. Is so how I actually learned lead gen was through real time experience, but I acquired the theory and the principles of the skill by reading psychological college textbooks, right? Looking at many different courses and applying their strategies, and with my own strategies. So I rigorously studied, what is lead gen? It's marketing. Well, what is marketing? Well, it's a collection of sub-disciplines, which is psychology, game theory, statistics, economics, biology, science, copywriting, testing, analyzing data entry, right, etc., etc. All these different things I had to learn to really encompass my whole view of how I can really leverage my skill, which is lead generation, B2B lead generation, that is. So once I understand the theory, right, and the principles of the skill, now I can reach out to prospects on a performance-based model. And now I can sign clients on a performance-based model because there's going to be no risk for them, because we eat what we kill, right? And this is exactly how I would do it. And this is exactly how I did it and how my business partner did it, right? So you're going to repeat this over and over again. You're going to scale vertically, meaning you're going to sign as much clients as you can possibly take on, right? I always say to myself, I want to be as busy as possible. I want to be as stressful as possible. I want to wake up with anxiety. Why? Because it's going to make me get the job done. Now, you might not have the psychological makeup like I do, but you want to scale vertically. You want to get as much clients as possible so you know what kind of verticals you can deliver for and what kind of clients you actually want to work with long term, right? Because long term, you want to scale horizontally and just work with a handful of clients and just work with those clients and partner with them. But that's later in your journey. That's after 10K a month, all right? So reach out to prospects on a performance-based model, sign clients on that model, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat until you have deep experience, deep knowledge, case studies, testimonials, social proof, proof of concept, and have confidence. So when you now can scale with retainers and retainers and performance and sign on higher quality clients and really command who you want to work with, you can pull from your data bank, if you will, proof of concepts, right? Your confidence, testimonials, your case studies, deep knowledge, deep experience. You can now apply that to more established clients and do more for them, right? And now you can start to charge up front with high fees, with retainer fees, plus performance on the back end, right? And this is how you scale. This is how you leverage, this is how you first recognize a skill you want to partake in, and then learn the theory and principles of that skill, reach out to prospects on a performance-based model, repeat that. Once you have that foundation, then you can start advancing, all right? And that's exactly what we're doing here. So here's the timeline of reaching 10K a month, right? So keep in mind, guys, Newton's laws of motion, we want to use brute force, and that brute force is going to carry literally into our whole entire journey, into every facet of our business, right? So that's why I put the arrow from brute force to picking your B2B niche, because this will carry on to your whole business by applying that brute force. So pick a B2B niche, preferably pick a B2B niche that is not saturated with crazy offers. I would stray away from, unless you have experience and case studies and already existing assets in these different niches. If you don't, stay away from these niches. Marketing agencies and SaaS companies, stay away from these niches. Point blank period. Just stay away from those niches. Really niches, B2B niches that work very, very well, that need lead generation as soon as possible. They absolutely need it. Is B2B verticals or niches that are sort of old school in a way, but can truly benefit from a new school way of marketing, right? So for example, if you want to work with a B2B HVAC company that supplies manufacturing parts to construction companies, right? they're probably not doing modern marketing techniques. They're probably doing guerrilla marketing still, Lamar advertising billboards, newspaper ads, right? So when you apply up-to-date 2024 lead generation strategies and principles to their marketing, you're going to supercharge their business practically overnight, because people in their industry are not doing what they're just not applying new age marketing tactics, point blank period, right? They're not applying internet marketing, which they need. Okay, so pick a B2B niche or niches, so you can test many different ones. But what I recommend is just focus on one, gather the insights, and see if you really want to work with those type of folks. All right. Now you're going to reach out to prospects with a performance-based offer. Now, I have a note up here. What you're going to do. And again, guys, we want to guarantee success, right? We don't want to see if we're going to see success. We want to guarantee 10K a month. So how do we guarantee 10K a month? Say, oh, Isaiah, nothing in this life is guaranteed except, death and taxes depending who you are. And that's true. That's true, but that is that's a psychological belief that you have that you need to root out. I truly do believe if you take this advice, you're going to reach 10K a month, guaranteed. Because my business partner and I literally done this over and over again. All right, so reach out to prospects with a performance-based offer. You're going to send at minimum 1,000 to 3,000 cold emails every single day. You're going to do 200 cold calls every day, and you're going to do one long-form content every single day. Do this for 1 year, and if you don't make 10K a month, message me with proof that you've done what I've just laid out here every single day for a year straight, and I'll wire you $5,000 straight up. Because I truly do believe that if you apply brute force, right, to a B2B niche that doesn't have saturated offers, and you're reaching out to prospects with a performance-based offer, right, and you're doing this much volume every single day, you're going to reach 10K a month, right? Usually what I do recommend is you focus on one acquisition channel. You get really good at that. And because the main mechanism for B2B lead generation is, well, it depends who your client is, but usually it's cold email outbound. So obviously you want to get good at booking calls for yourself through cold email outbound. So I would focus on that. But managing your cold email outbound system, it won't take 8 hours. Okay, it won't take 8 hours. So it might take you 3 at most, and most of that time is just booking prospects in and maybe writing copy and sequences. You have like 15 more hours of the day. So what are you doing with those 15 hours? Start dialing the phone. Start picking up the phone, do the cold calls, and do one long form content every single day. Do more if you want to, right? This is just the bare minimum. All right, so once you start doing that, you're gonna start getting on sales calls. Ask questions. You need to make campaigns efficient. Get to know a prospect, get to know the niche, get to know the pain points, get those insights, and then close that prospect on a performance-based offer. Now, if you want a sales script, go on my business partner's YouTube channel, Max Ross Official. He just posted a sales script that we use internally to close a lot of clients. So just go on his page and couple that script with what I'm telling you here, and you're going to sign. You're going to close clients on that sales call. All right. So once you sign clients, remember, you're going to repeat that step over and over again. You're going to repeat this step over and over again. You're going to now start delivering your service, and you're going to fail a lot, right? You're going to fail forward though, right? Whenever you take an L, just realize it's a mini win and a mini Tetris block, making that foundation for you, right? You're going to collect experience, you're going to collect case studies, and you're going to build vertically. Again, sign as much clients as possible, deliver for those clients, and you're going to look up and you're going to reach 10K a month, right? So it's really within this phase, and this phase, and really in the middle of starting your V2 offer is when you're going to start seeing 10K a month, all right? So, yeah. And then so once you reach 10K a month, we can start fleshing out our V2 offer. Plus, we can start creating lead magnets, and then we can start charging retainers, and we can start offloading clients, and we can start scaling horizontally, and just work with a couple of clients and just partner with those clients and sort of work in-house for them, right? So you can either do that, or you can just create a B2B lead generation lifestyle business. Once you're at 10 to 15K a month, you're going to hire an SDR and a VA, and they'll essentially take care of your clients, and all you have to do is manage your clients' accounts, just nurture that relationship, and build your campaigns. Now, if you really just want to automate the entire thing, your profit margins are going to take a huge hit. You don't want to have 50% profit margins at 10 to 15K a month. But if you honestly do want a lifestyle business and you just want to travel the world and you want to have an automated agency, I would you could hire a campaign manager to actually build the campaigns for you. But they're going to want to be incentivized. Inevitably, the business might grow either way, since you're going to hire these key people. But if you just want a lifestyle business, just take that little tidbit. But if you do want to scale more horizontally, focus on your service, get really good at that, start making key hires, and then slowly offload clients you don't get results for or don't want to work with, and focus on the key clients that that produce 80% of your revenue, but you work on their account 20% of the time. We want to bring on more clients like those, so we have like maybe 5 to 10 clients that are making us 100K a month or even higher. All right. Or you can start a new offer, right? You can go into consulting or whatever, what have you. But really, once you're at 10K a month, the world is your oyster, and you have a hell of a lot of options than when you were at complete zero. All right, so guys, hopefully you found some value in this video. And again, take me up on this offer. You're going to reach 10K a month if you actually apply of what I mentioned and apply Newton's laws of motions and actually scale up. Okay? But if you do want to cut this in half, because as I mentioned, this might take you 1, 2, 3 years. If you do want to cut this in half and reach 10K a month in 6 months, message me on Instagram. I'll create you a free growth plan on showing you exactly how we're going to do that. But aside from that, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.